This video is narrated for your convenience. This video is intended to expose the great plan that's been hidden from the populace. This is a relationship that's been hidden from the Americans as well, the whole world. Trump and Hillary never hated one another. This is to mask your perception and deceive everyone, as everyone's heard of Hillary having secret communications with Russian president with business. Well, so did Trump and the Clintons. Here some proof and backbone to the story, and don't believe the Clintons paid people to do these things anymore because Trump funds them as well. Enjoy the show. Republican presidential candidate and reality television star Donald Trump has been deeply critical of former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton as he has embarked on his campaign, but it wasn't always so. The real estate magnate has a long history of delivering admiring comments about the woman he now calls the worst Secretary of State in the history of the United States, and a desperate and sad candidate. When Clinton last ran for office, Trump was torn between supporting her and former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani. They're both terrific people and I hope they both get the nomination, he told CNN in 2007, adding that he thought Clinton would surround herself with good people to negotiate a deal with Iran. A year later, Trump wondered publicly why Clinton wasn't chosen as President Obama's running mate in 2012. As Obama was running for re-election, Trump called Clinton terrific again in an interview with Fox News, saying she performed well as Secretary of State. Hillary Clinton, I think, is a terrific woman, he told Greta Van Susteren. I am biased because I have known her for years. I live in New York, she lives in New York. I really like her and her husband both a lot. I think she really works hard and I think again she's given an agenda. It is not all of her, but I think she really works hard and I think she does a good job. I like her. And on Fox and Friends on Wednesday, Trump explained why he donated to Clinton's campaigns. I'm a businessman, I contribute to everybody. Trump said, when I needed Hillary she was there. If I say go to my wedding, they go to my wedding. Three days after Donald Trump announced his run for president in June, I asked if maybe Trump is a double agent for the left. He is nearly a cartoon version of the kind of conservative Stephen Colbert played on Comedy Central until this year. He reinforces all the left's negative stereotypes of conservatives as ignorant blowhards. Indeed, a new Wall Street Journal/NBC poll finds a majority of Americans think Trump has damaged the Republican Party's image. Now comes a Washington Post report that Trump jumped into the presidential race after a private phone call with Bill Clinton that was made just 3 weeks before his announcement. Clinton encouraged him to play a bigger role in the Republican Party. And while Clinton didn't specifically urge Trump to run, he was obviously feeding his giant ego. Clinton sounded curious about Trump's moves towards a presidential bid and told Trump that he was striking a chord with frustrated conservatives and was a rising force on the right, the Post reports, noting its information came from both Trump allies and a Clinton aide. The call was one of many conversations the Clintons and Trump have had over the years. until his recent criticism of Hillary Clinton as the worst Secretary of State in the history of our nation. Trump used to be a big Hillary booster, enjoying what the Post calls a cordial, even cozy, relationship with her. Hillary Clinton attended Trump's 2005 wedding, and Bill attended the wedding reception, and he has showered her Senate campaigns with contributions on 4 separate occasions, as well as being a donor to her 2008 presidential campaign. In 2012, after Clinton had been Secretary of State for over 3 years, he told Fox News that she was a terrific woman. She really works hard and I think she does a good job. He has also said that the 1998 impeachment of Bill Clinton over his perjury before a federal judge and obstruction of justice in the Lewinsky scandal was totally unimportant and nonsense. Related, the Donald could prove Hillary's trump card. The Clintons have also been very sparing in their criticism of Trump, until Hillary Clinton was forced to respond to his comments about Mexican rapists. He has been, believe it or not, uncommonly nice to Hillary and me, Bill Clinton said of Trump on The Daily Show just last month. He thought Hillary was a good senator for New York after September 11 and he has actually. He's one of the many Republicans who supported our foundation before they got the memo. As the Daily Beast's Michael Daly notes, Bill has gone out of his way not to criticize Trump. He once prefaced a mild response to Trump's birther comments about President Obama by saying of his pal Donald, "I like him. And I love playing golf with him." It will be a political gift for Hillary's chances to become president if a Donald Trump who was spurned by Republicans were to wind up making a third-party bid in 2016. The mischievous Bill Clinton also no doubt loves playing political footsie with Trump. It will be a political gift for Hillary's chances to become president if a Donald Trump who was spurned by Republicans were to wind up making a third-party bid in 2016, a move which would probably allow Hillary to repeat Bill's feat of winning the presidency with only 43% of the vote in 1992. Thanks to the 19% won by Ross Perot's independent candidacy. Late last month, Trump told the Hill newspaper that the odds of him mounting a third-party bid will absolutely increase if he views the Republican National Committee as being unfair to him. "The RNC has not been supportive," he said. "The RNC has been, I think, very foolish." He noted that so many people want me to run third party, if I don't win the Republican nomination. Of course, it's hard to tell what the mercurial Trump will do. Much of it may depend on who is feeding his ego or bruising it at any given time. What is certain is that you can't take what he says about any issue or anyone to the bank. He is almost gleeful about his ability to change his tune. Cardinal Dolan, Trump, Clinton traded jabs at podium, but it was different in private. Cardinal Timothy Dolan, blessed with the job of playing peacemaker while sitting between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump during a white tie fundraiser, said the two presidential candidates demonstrated a kindness toward each other rarely seen in public. While each candidate delivered some biting comments while taking a turn behind the dais at the Al Smith dinner, there were some very touching moments in private, Dolan said, describing one right after he asked both of them to pray with him. After the little prayer, Mr. Trump turned to Secretary Clinton and said, "You are one tough and talented woman," Dolan said. He said, "This has been a good experience, this whole campaign, as tough as it's been." Clinton then returned the compliment. She said to him, "Donald, whatever happens, we need to work together afterward," Dolan said. "This is the evening at its best," he said, describing the event as a family dinner where you're just hoping things go well. Dolan said it was obvious the two candidates are kind of awkward together, but said that's to be expected. He noted 4 years ago there was a similar iciness between then Republican nominee Mitt Romney and President Obama at the same event. "The purpose of the evening is to break some of the ice, and thanks be to God, it works," Dolan. Many Trump supporters feel that their candidate is the only one who says what he really thinks and tells it like it is. That cannot be true, for the simple reason that so much of what Trump says now is directly contradicted by what he said in the recent past. Today, he says, Hillary is an incompetent failure who was complicit in her husband's abuse of women. A few years ago, the Clintons were terrific people and Hillary was a hard worker who does a good job. Trump flip-flops exactly like every other opportunistic politician. Until his supporters see him as a man who'll say anything to get elected, they'll keep getting duped. Now if you still think this is just a conspiracy theory, then you are the only one fooled. The Clintons and Trump are clearly on the same side with the same agendas. Trump wants to implement the draft for war obviously, and Hillary wants to go to war. They are clearly longtime friends and always will be, so don't feed into the social war they are influencing on the populace with race, color and political chaos.